Today is the day after Hurricane Nate. I think it's October, I don't even know. I think it's the 7th, 8th, I don't know. Anyway, I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I came up with the idea to make a video by myself to communicate with you, because you and I are the same person and we have a really challenging time communicating with each other or listening to each other, to the point where we can't even understand each other over emails. And I think that a lot of the emails that we communicate and correspond through, I've been painting all day, are misunderstood by both parties, mine and yours. So I've seen Stacy for going on 10 years now, and I thought about it, and I was thinking about the things that I learned about myself in those 10 years with her. I started seeing Stacy, I think, when I was either 19 or 20 in Baton Rouge, when I was in college and you and I were fighting a lot. I still can't breathe through my nose. Anyway, I remember filling out the piece of paper before I walked into Stacy's office, and it was like, it had a religious thing on there, and it asked you, you know, if you were Catholic or whatever, or what religious affiliation you were, and I remember being like, oh fuck, this is crap, I don't want to go to someone who's biased because she's religious or whatever. But I walked into her office, and the first thing she said to me was, why are you here? And I said, I don't know, I just feel like I need to be here. And I'm really glad that I did. It was the best decision I have ever made in my life, was to step into that woman's office and take control of my mental health. It has always been my impression from you that you see mental health as a weakness, and I think that I knew I needed to do it for myself, and also because I wanted to impress you, and I've always, you know, I just need to take care of it. Alright, anyway, the first 3 years, Stacy has seen me since the first time I had sex, since the first time I did drugs. She has been with me through 2 fights with you now, with the ups and downs with Chris, the first time I bought my house. She has seen me grow up and become a woman. I think you're having trouble seeing me becoming a woman and subconsciously letting me go and grow up. For the first 3 years of seeing her, I refused to get on medication. She knew from the beginning that I was not interested in being on any type of medication. And I remember her finding a way to ask me why I was so against medication, because she respected that for a very long time. She still does. And I told her that I don't need medication, I'm not crazy. I didn't ever want to feel like you thought I was crazy, because you constantly were always saying how mom's crazy. Hey, give me some time.
What?
Give me some time. No, I'm making a video. Give me some time. You know, you said that throughout childhood, and, you know, when you and mom started separating and whatnot, oh, your mom's crazy, your mom's crazy. Fine, we all know mom has some issues. Alright, cool. So do you. So do I. I have many. So, I never wanted to get on medication. I tried all the natural stuff. I did therapy for 3 years without it. I tried the shit from GNC and all this fucking natural bullshit. It didn't work. Getting on medication was the second best thing I ever did in my life. It never felt so normal. So one of the things that I learned about myself is that I am depressed. I am definitely depressed, and medication changes my life, and I think that you understand that too, because I remember having this epiphany in your kitchen when you told me you got on medication. You were on medication. And when you told me that, the weight lifted off my shoulders and I felt so much better. My dad, my hero, the person I look up to, the person I want to impress, the person I want to tell me that they're proud of me, has the same problems I do, but he don't talk about his emotions. He doesn't. Anyway, so when you told me that, it was great. So I learned I was depressed, and then I learned that I had severe anxiety. I learned that I got a lot of your traits and a lot of Mom's. Bottom line is, I don't need you to pay for therapy. I don't need you to pay for anything. Is it helpful? Absolutely. It's helpful. And I think that you and I both see money as a way to control, and you and I are both control freaks. That's one of the things that we are very similar in. So I'm not upset about you not paying for therapy, because it's not about that. It's about, well, that specific situation was about you as a person taking away someone who you know I highly respect. I say taking away, attempting to take away as a form of punishment. I'm not a bad kid. I'm really not. I mean, I don't think I am. Ugh, I have a big nose. I wanted to make this video to tell you about what I've learned in therapy about myself for the past 10 years, and also what I learned about you and I's relationship, and other things about our family and just growing up. And I remember Stacy saying when I hit 25, everything would make sense, or everything would start making sense. And she was right. 25, 26, things started making sense. Things that were important to me and important to my life started making sense. You and I became a lot closer, and that meant the world to me. I love that my first house is one street over from you and 3 doors down from Chris. I love that I could just drive to your house and we could sit on the swing and drink a beer and shoot the shit. I wish that I could do that every day with you. All I want is a relationship with my dad that is like any other relationship, where there's mutual respect and no judgment. You're a very judgmental person, and that's really challenging to be around. A lot of the things that you've said to me make me really self-conscious. But I'm not trying to go there. Anyway, I just want you to know that I want a relationship with you, but I'm not gonna let you make me feel guilty about the decisions that I make. I'm 29. You're right. You don't need to give me any money anymore. You don't need to do me any more favors. But I also don't owe you anything. If I want to go get a tattoo, I'm gonna go get a tattoo. If I want to go on a date. I'm gonna go on a date. One of the things that hurt me the most, and I didn't know why, is that the night that you got upset about the concert with Chris, you know, I had plans to go on this date for a while, and you know, you had just changed your plans to go see, I can't remember who it was, with Chris and Pam, and it was a last minute thing. I respect your time. I respect your privacy. When I text you and you're like, I'm at home doing emails, I don't come over if you tell me you're really busy. I can't remember exactly what you said, I don't have it in front of me, but you said, you know, you need to do this for your brother. And one of my friends said something that really put things into perspective for me. And she said, why is Chris's life more important than yours? And I never thought about that before. But something else that I learned about, you know, my growing up is that I was a third kid and I was a girl. I was told by both you and Mom that the conversation of me being aborted happened. And that's fine, I don't even care. But something that has recently kind of like been a light bulb that went off in my head is that I really can't stand it when people don't listen to me. And I've always felt like I've been ignored or in the way, or like I wasn't good enough, or that I was ugly, and that your other children's lives were more important than mine. And Darren, you know, I am 29 again. I want to have kids. I really want to have kids, and I need to start dating seriously and find somebody so I can have kids. I know that you think a date is stupid, but it's not necessarily what it was about. It was that you did ask me last minute, and you were very disrespectful about it. And you don't respect my time at all. You don't really respect me at all either. I don't really know why. I don't think I'm that bad. Anyway, I want nothing more than to get married in a couple years and have you walk me down the aisle. I don't want to not talk to my dad and not have a relationship with him because we're both stubborn and we misunderstand each other. I want to have kids that I can bring to your house and you know, that can wrap you around their finger. So the thought of doing what I want to do in my life and constantly living of fear of your approval is a hard one. Because there's a lot of things that I want to do, and I know that you would just go crazy or whatever. But Chris's life is not more important than mine. My life is important. My time is important. No, I don't wake up at the ass crack of dawn. I do things differently than you. I'm not perfect. I'm not you. I'm also not your wife. The amount of pressure that you put on me with Chris is insane. It's not insane, it's a lot. It's not my fault that you and Mom didn't work out. Chris is my brother, not my son. He's not my responsibility every day. He's yours, especially when you took Mom to court. And I'm not blaming you for that. I think it was done correctly, or it should have happened, whatever. But I see where you're coming from. I do. I hear you loud and clear. I try to always understand where you're coming from. But you don't do that for me. You never listen. You don't want to hear what I have to say because you're too busy. Or your time is more valuable. And what I have to say is not important to you. Unless it's about making money or something, and you usually don't even listen to that then. And if you are listening, it's because you're drunk. Which is fine. I don't care that you drink every day anymore because it's your life. Whatever. You're gonna do what you want to do. But I wish that you would consider trying to be more open-minded and understanding my feelings or understanding where I'm coming from. I'm not trying to change who you are. I just want you to be more sympathetic towards me. I'm not your son. I am a girl. Like, I'm sensitive. You know, so when you tell me things like, where are your eyebrows? I paid $400 to have a needle and little cuts sliced into my eyebrows so I could have eyebrows. I had weight loss surgery in a foreign country because I remember you, again, in your kitchen telling me that I would have a happier, better life, personally and professionally, if I lost weight. I will never forget that conversation. So yeah, I'm really insecure. And yeah, I take antidepressants every day. And yes, I worry about a lot of things because, believe it or not, I came out of Mom and look who your sister is. She's more neurotic than ever. I know that you don't do this with everybody. You don't listen or care about everybody's feelings or whatever. Or you don't want to be politically correct. But I do think you want to have a relationship with me. Part of me thinks that you think I'm funny. And I'm a good comic relief for you. And at the end of the day, when all your friends ask about us, you feel bad. Because I am your daughter. I like talking to you about real estate stuff. I miss sitting on the swing and talking about my day with you. But I don't miss how bad you make me feel about myself. Darren and I talked about different strategies on how to communicate with you. It's always seemed to somehow slightly smooth itself over if Darren is in the room and can mediate, because when I'm around you, I shut down. When I'm around you, I don't have a backbone. Because all I want is for you to actually like me for who I am and the things that I do. But just because I do things that you don't want me to do or that aren't convenient for you doesn't mean that my time's not valuable or I'm not important. You once told me that man's biggest fear is rejection. And to have your own dad constantly reject you or tell you how much of a fuck up you are, call you shit for braids, tell you you have stumps for legs, you need to go put some makeup on or whatever, or that I'm not doing the right thing because I do it differently than you, is really hurtful. I talked to Stacy about how we wrote emails to each other and how that form of communication wasn't working. You wrote in one of your emails that this reminds you, or this TIFF or whatever, reminds you of what happened when we didn't talk for a year or so, 2 years, whatever it was. And by you even saying that, it's so narrow. You're like, it reminds me of the last time you rejected me. It's because you've fallen back into some of your old ways, and you're not listening to what I have to say or caring about anybody but yourself. Darren and I talked about ways to communicate with you, and we've decided that the best form of communication is to just leave you alone. No matter what I say, I'm wrong. No matter what, I'm tired. I don't want to fight with you over email. If I'm tired at 29, you've got to be fucking exhausted. I don't want to fight with you over who's right and who's wrong over email. I don't want to fight with you about who's wrong and who's right over anything, because I think it's stupid. And it's a waste of fucking time. You're 65, and somebody who does manual labor and drinks way too much every day. You're not gonna last forever. I want to spend as much time with my dad as possible. But I also want to live my life and feel good about myself and not feel bad about my decisions because they don't please you. So as you can see, I'm at a crossroads. No, I don't want to end my relationship with you, but I will not tolerate the way you talk to me and the way they treat me. I'm not going to go through every nitty-gritty situation. Even though I could, I don't want to. I guess I just wanted to make this video because we don't ever talk about our problems face to face. I told you why on my part, because of it's really hard. You don't really listen anyway. So I thought maybe if I explained myself a little bit, maybe you'd actually see where I'm coming from. Or maybe just try to understand. I know that you have a lot on your plate, but you always do. That never changes. You're always busy. I know you're always busy. I like to keep myself busy too because I get that from you. It really hurt my feelings and put things into perspective for me when I asked you about if you had reached out to Stacy. And you said, my time and schedule doesn't permit that. That showed me how much you care. It kind of proved my point about, or just about how I'm always on the back burner. I'm always on the back burner. I'm always don't worry about Lauren. I wish you'd worry about me. Anyway, doing well. When I sent you the email about Darren's party, I was trying to be nice. Tell you that Darren had a really great time, and it was funny because of Darren's house arrest, and we all dressed up and were your little criminals, but I know you don't have time. To take care about your little criminals. That's unfortunate. But at the end of the day, when you make your own schedule, you can make time if you wanted to. Thought about videotaping myself and just not giving it to you and having it as a diary. But this is really painful. So, anyway, I may or may not send this to you. Either way, I hope you're in good health, and I still love you. It's like Stockholm Syndrome. Still fucking love you. But I love myself more. Because I deserve that. I visited Chris yesterday, and I saw he and Mary in Walmart. I can't breathe out of my nose, and my ears are popped now. Anyway, Chris was really funny yesterday. I walked in right before the storm, and I wanted to see what was going on and check on him, and he was really groggy because he had just woken up from a nap, so I think he was kind of shocked that I was sitting next to him and was like anyway, doing a lot of things with real estate that I'm really excited about, learning a lot, and I'm also doing a lot of therapeutic things for me, like painting and stuff, and it's been really good for me. It's been very helpful. I don't care if you go see Stacy or not. It's not about, you know, each of us having to tell each other stories and who's right and who's wrong, because it's not about that. But it's about having a relationship with my dad that is healthy, that is respectful on both sides, and that will hopefully get to the level where we could be father-daughter again. Alright, well, bye.